have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
You've probably seen the viral brick lady claiming a man hit her in the face with a brick. Now, that man is telling his side of the story. You're watching Fox 26 Crime Files. I'm Abigail Dye. That video went crazy online, and this woman who made more than $40,000 off a GoFundMe is charged, accused of making the whole thing up. Her real name is Roda Osman. She claimed a man hit her with a brick because she wouldn't give him her number. She posted the video months ago, and it went viral.
I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no.
She ended up stacking up more than $42,000 on a GoFundMe with the story. Now it's called a total scam. Court records say Osman called police reporting the incident, saying Olan Douglas was the man who hit her. But she changed her story multiple times, and police say they got security video of the incident that showed Osman hitting Douglas, then Douglas hitting her back, saying the video didn't match Osman's claims. The document goes on to say this isn't Osman's first scam, saying in 2020 she made a GoFundMe claiming a man hit her in Minneapolis. But police there say there's no record of her being assaulted. Osman is now charged with theft by deception. At this time, I am joined now by the man accused of throwing the brick, Olan Douglas. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I know it's been a couple crazy months for you. So first, just tell us, how did you meet Osman?
Well, originally we was at I was at a club called Liquid Lounge. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was in my section, and the first time I met her is I seen her. She was standing up, and she had a ski mask on that showed her eyes.
In the club, was wearing a ski mask, a full face covering ski mask.
Yeah, it was like a designer ski mask, so it kind of matched the outfit.
Okay, interesting.
And you can only see her eyes, but it was kind of cool. So she was with her friend, actually. Mm-hmm. So when I went and approached her, I said, "Would you like to sit down?" When she kind of came to my section, she was like, "I'm not going to sit down because, unless all these girls leave." So then I told her, well, I guess you're going to be standing up. And that was the first interaction. Mm-hmm. And from there, I seen her when we were leaving. So I've never met her before after that. I never even got her name in that situation.
And so that was the same night that this alleged brick assault happened. Now let's fast forward to that. Tell me your side of the story. What happened?
So what actually happened is that when we went outside, we went outside together. So I seen her outside, and then we were with a group of people. Mm-hmm. So we were saying that we're gonna go to an after-hour spot, and do y'all wanna ride with us to the after-hour spot? So at this time, as we were walking, she actually started trying to get in fights with the other female that we were with, right? So because the girl looked at her. So at that moment, I thought that was kind of weird.
Okay, so she was being a little aggressive in nature.
She's being very aggressive, very just loud and kind of combative to other people.
And still, this is a stranger to you.
Yeah,
this is someone you had just met.
Yeah, this is someone we just met. So we're in a little group. So she kind of chased that girl off the group. And then as we're going into the car to go to get ready to go to after hour, we went inside. And then as we're in the car, she kept just being really loud. And not only that, unfortunately, my friend wasn't really feeling her friend. So, I just asked her to leave. Hey, if you don't mind, can you just leave? So from asking her to leave, she got really angry and aggressive. She started kicking me. We're at the point where I'm getting out the car to let her out, but as soon as I let her outside the car, she instantly starts hitting me. So she hit me one time, and then she was going to hit me again, and then I try to block it, and from blocking it, that's when, as you could see on the video footage, I had a water bottle in my hand, so I hit her right here on the face. I kind of what's it called,
Reacted.
yeah,
just
I
like
just kind of reacted
instinctually.
really quickly. And from there, she didn't want to, like, she kept trying to follow me and fight me. So that's when I had to actually go into another vehicle that my friends were at on the side of us to kind of leave the situation.
Yeah, and like you said, the security video, according to the court records, does indicate that you hit her.
Yeah.
And I know that many people will think, was there another way to diffuse that situation? Like, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I really try to defend her from hitting me again because she was continuously hitting me. So unfortunately, I just reacted really quickly, and I hit her, and then it stopped her though. I mean, it stopped her from consistently hitting me, and then I walked away, which I would try to walk away, and she kept following me. So that's why I had to go to another vehicle.
And so it was self-defense in your
Correct.
eyes. Yeah, and I will be clear that the report says that the video does not reflect what Osman told police. So, as we were talking earlier, she does have a huge swollen face in this video. Do you have any idea where that came from or any theories?
Yeah, so the theory that I have is that, because you have to understand, I did not realize any of this happened until it went viral. I didn't even recognize her as it went viral because I've never actually seen her whole face.
Interesting.
So when it got viral and my name started getting brought up, that's when, I recollected, like, okay, this is what happened. So I feel like she went to the club like that. She went outside like that because the thing is,
and that's why she was wearing the ski mask in your head.
the club was beyond capacity. She was standing up, and I know she had to be hot, yet she had it on the entire time. Went outside, had it on the entire time. And then after that event, had it on the entire time. And it wasn't until this event went viral that she took her mask off.
And I know your name was mentioned in the police reports and the court records and everything, but it seems like it was brought up before then. Was she saying your name on social media and things like that?
So she described me to the security guard. The security guard recognized my face, and she's already known my name since the first day. So what was odd about that is that if you already knew my name and my information, when you spoke to the cops and documented that the 2 or 3 stories that she had, which I believe one of the stories is that I was an Uber driver, try to kidnap her.
Yeah, I remember
her.
seeing some of that in the court records. She had changed her story multiple times to police, and the court records reflect that.
Right. So I'm thinking that if you already knew my name, that's pretty weird that you're making up that type of story. So that is kind of how. She knew my name from the security guard that was working.
Yeah, and so how has this affected you? What kind of repercussions have you been dealing with? I never like to consider myself a victim, but it seems like my character has been slandered. Yeah.
At the very beginning, I was basically scared for my freedom and my life because assault, kidnapping, just everything she said wasn't something to play with. This was, I was going to, that is something that you go to jail, prison for a very long time. And just, I'm gonna be honest, a black guy saying you hit someone with a brick, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go to jail immediately. Go to jail first, and then the questions a little bit later, they'll figure it out. So for the first 2 months, I was scared. I was nervous. And I think the biggest part was knowing that it wasn't true and not being able to speak out, not being able to tell my story.
That had to be really hard because it was all on social media and it was just like this big social media circus.
Correct.
There wasn't really a platform for that. And I mean, how does that make you feel knowing that a stranger, according to you, completely targeted you to make you the crux of the story?
Well, not only I was scared for myself at the time, but after this event happened, talking to other, men, this happens a lot. This isn't, it's not abnormal, and that's sad. And what's even sadder is the people that make these false allegations, they're never proven accountable for it. Once you find out, it usually gets swept under the rug.
Right, and so in this case, she's charged with the theft for the GoFundMe, but not for lying or slandering you. So how do you feel about?
She hit me first,
Right.
So,
and so how do you feel about that? Do you feel like there should be some kind of legal process to bring justice for the slander?
That's something I'm working on right now. I'm actually starting, I'm trying to facilitate how to get that done at the moment. Because at first, to be honest, I wasn't. But what really inspired me is the men that have, messaged me, DM me, called me and said that, you need to make her accountable because this happens too much and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And, that really inspired me to actually seek whatever I can seek or do whatever I can do to really make her fully accountable for this.
Interesting. Well, we're coming up on time here. Is there anything else that you want to add to the situation?
I would just say the people that's watching this is before you believe something, before but before you invest your time and energy in someone or something, just do your research. Like, investigate. Like, don't always take whatever's on the internet because you're changing someone's life. Someone's life can change. Someone's life can be altered. Someone's going to lose something at the end of the day based on a false reality and a false narrative. So I just want to make sure that, just moving forward, just do your research. Look at everything, instead of being kind of emotional, and just kind of be rational or logical about the situation.
Yeah, don't jump to conclusions.
Right, that is exactly it.
Well, very well said. Thank you so much, Olan, for being on the show and talking and telling your side of the story. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Up next, we've got a wild piece from Randy Wallace in his Breaking Bond series, Murder by Fentanyl. This is one of the first men to be charged under a new law holding him responsible for a poisoning.
Back in 2018, a then 19-year-old Omarion Philip Bailey was wanted for shooting a 7-year-old boy in a drive-by.
The reason for the dismissal was not because of insufficient evidence or they didn't have probable cause. The witnesses were gone.
Bailey added charge after charge after charge to his criminal history in 2023. It began in February when Bailey was charged with DWI.
While on bond for DWI, he gets charged with assault with a bodily injury, criminal mischief, retaliation, and stalking.
I haven't seen anything like this in my 27 years as a lawyer.
Defense attorney Emily DeToto reviewed the charging documents in Bailey's stalking case.
This isn't like an unrequited Romeo and Juliet type of thing. This is a allegedly dangerous human being that's writing these.
According to court documents, Bailey sent 182 text messages to his ex-girlfriend between 3 a.m. and 4:47 a.m. on August 21st, 2023.
You can't even show what he did on the news because it's that descriptive.
The text included, "I'm putting you in the hospital on a stretcher."
These messages were witnessed by the complainant's daughter.
You got prior history of terroristic threat, you've got assaultive behavior, but he only had a $20,000 bond.
Last December, Bailey is charged with possession of a controlled substance after allegedly selling fentanyl to undercover DPS special agents. 263rd District Court Judge Melissa Morris does nothing.
does not increase his bond, doesn't revoke his bond. She leaves him on the same bond.
Last week, Bailey was charged with fentanyl murder by delivery in the death of 16-year-old Cooper Cullen Cash Root. He died on September 15th of last year, 2 weeks after Bailey got bond for the stalking charge.
I'll argue, from here to eternity, that if you had set a higher bond, perhaps this young man would be alive.
This next one is something that I dove into, no pun intended there, Crater Lake. Now, I was out there doing a report on another story about a month ago, and the energy there is seriously heavy. My photographer and I could not get away from the goosebumps, the heebie-jeebies. You know, when you're in a space and you just know something bad happened there? Well, it launched a full-fledged investigation into this Conroe Lake.
It's creepy. It's really creepy. And you just wonder, uh-oh, if somebody falls in, what would happen?
Down a secluded Conroe Road.
You go down that street, there's nothing but tires and trash.
Behind thick brush. The infamous Crater Lake.
They said that there's a lot of people out there that do witchcraft and stuff like that.
That's scary.
It really is.
Locals like Jamie have heard all the rumors.
A lot of people say that lake is actually bottomless.
Some very true.
There's been dead bodies around it.
The first body found near Crater Lake was in 1979. 12-year-old Lisa Jackson had been raped and murdered. Her case cold until 2022, when DNA technology linked Gerald Casey to the killing. Casey was executed in 2002 for a different murder. The next Crater Lake body was found in 1986.
He had been shot 2 times, and he had been weighted down with 2 cinder blocks.
The man found sat unidentified for 37 years until December of 2022, when DNA tech ID'd him as Clarence Wilson. News his sister Gwen Tranum was shocked to hear.
I think because of the brutality of the whole thing, I think that was the hardest part.
It's still unknown who shot Wilson and dumped him in the lake. In 2001, Sandra Stotler's body was found wrapped in a blanket that caught a fisherman's hook. Her killer, Michael James Perry, was put to death in 2010.
It was one of the worst murders here in Conroe.
Then in 2005, Darkus Penrice was found near the lake, stabbed to death. Her case is still unsolved. Months later, the burned, decaying body of Yvette King was found in the area. Her daughter Brandy King and Rocco Massell were charged with murder. That was the last body found near the lake, but not the end of its criminal ties.
We were going in looking for a firearm in the bottom of this Crater Lake.
Jared Llewellyn is an experienced diver, but had never seen something like this.
The rumors are it's 600 feet deep, it's bottomless, and that's really all we know about it or knew about it before we dove it. Once you descend below about 7 feet, it is pitch black. There is no light. There is zero light.
That's right down the street.
He and his team recovered multiple stolen vehicles from the lake in 2020 and 2022.
It's creepy. That's the word for it.
Eerie and creepy, especially on a rainy day like this, just like its recent history. But what we know about this lake goes all the way back to the 1930s, when it was created. On an oil field.
This field was known to be pretty risky and causing a lot of pressures. Bruce
Wells, oil and gas historian, says in 1933, an oil well exploded.
It was a huge ball of fire burning on the lake, and it's billowing smoke that could be seen from Houston.
The fire burned for days and made a huge crater.
It caused enough damage to nearby drilling rigs that eventually it cascaded, and literally the ground beneath them swallowed them up.
Eventually the fire was put out, the oil drained, so the crater gathered water and plenty of secrets.
Other than that, it's really just the rumors.
There's just a lot of scariness over there.
One we can debunk.
Which we found it does have a bottom, so it's about 35 feet deep.
But the 5 bodies found in and around the lake aren't tall tales, and for 2 of them, Only the lake knows what happened.
If you know something, just come forward and tell what you know, and maybe they can find this person, and have closure.
Yet another missing persons case turned homicide here in Houston. Days after an 18-year-old is reported missing, her body is found near a bayou. And not long after, police arrest her girlfriend. 18 years old. We can all agree that's too young to die.
I still haven't seen her body yet, so I think that's one that may be a little bit scary.
Rokisha Colton reported her sister Tiara Horn missing last Thursday. She hadn't answered her phone since Tuesday, but that phone pinged at an apartment complex in North Downtown.
And then I started feeling nauseous. This same feeling I had when my mom passed.
Just around the corner in thick brush, police made a tragic discovery Friday.
Today we were searching for the missing person and found a body of an adult female.
Tiara's family came out here the night her body was found, and her sister says that night she knew who the killer was, or at least who had something to do with it.
When she met this particular person that we're talking about, she just got off track.
She says shortly after their mom died in 2021, Tiara met someone. She and Tiara were together, and do you feel like she was violent or dangerous?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got pictures.
She says that woman lives in those apartments just around the corner from where Tiara was found. Now, instead of planning her little sister's birthday, she's planning a funeral.
I am mad about it. I will forgive them. I just want them just to pay for what they did, and I can move forward with my life. It won't be easy, but I can get by.
Now, this is the woman that police say killed Horn. Shania Turner is charged with murder in the case, and according to court documents, Turner thought that Horn gave her an STD, and that's why police say that she strangled her. Now, there is a domestic violence awareness walk scheduled for Sunday, January 28th at James Butte Park in Houston from 2 to 3 p.m. All are welcome to come to support and raise awareness for domestic violence, exactly what led to this tragic crime. Well, that's it for Fox 26 Crime Files this week. I'm your host, Abigail Dye. I'll see you next week.